Nigel Farage is the Brexit Leader, great broadcaster on GB News, which you can find on Flash, and he joins us each and every week exclusively here on Paul Murray Live. Great man. More polls are telling us what, is increasingly a great possibility here is that Biden can be flushed after one term and Trump would well and truly beat him if that election was held now. Of course, he's got to wait 2 years for it to happen, but normally it doesn't get better from the midterms, it only gets worse.
Yes, that's right. And I was with Trump 3 weeks ago. I was out in Florida. On great form. He also, by the way, over the weekend had a hole-in-one at golf, which isn't bad. So the luck is going Donald Trump's way at this moment in time. And Biden's poll rating is going down and down and down. Approval rating on one poll recently of 34%, which is very, very low in America. His vice president even lower. And if Trump wants the nomination for the Republicans, it's his. There's no question. Ron DeSantis, a very bright young challenger, but if Trump wants it, it's his. And you know something? Trump was right, wasn't he? When he berated Angela Merkel and said, stop making yourself wholly dependent on Russia. It makes no sense. He was right when he warned European countries they should be paying 2% of their budgets towards defense because you never know what may happen in the world. Well, everything in Ukraine has proven him to be right. And when he said that America should be energy independent, should be an exporter of energy, not an importer, and Biden closed pipelines, stopped further development, and people can see that he's right. And the trouble with Trump is he's a New Yorker. He's got this incredibly brash style. It's not, as we say in England, everyone's cup of tea, but on the big stuff, he's been proven to be right, and he's a man. I got to tell you, he does have the most extraordinary way of looking into the future. I was with him last April, a private meeting, and he was expressing to me concern about Ukraine and what Putin could do at a time when it wasn't even on the agenda. So he is, I promise you, a very remarkable man.
Well, also, Biden has embarrassed himself in the past few days, let alone weeks. Like literally standing in front of troops saying, you're about to go into Ukraine. White House says, oh, no, he didn't really mean it. Putin should be removed from power. White House turns around and of course, walks it back. He then gets asked about whether any of this is being walked back. Oh, no, none of it's being walked back. Like the confusion, the idea that, they used to say that sort of working for Trump was chaotic. Clearly working for Biden is just as crazy in a different way, because fair income, you can't be, at a moment when words must have precision, he is just dribbling.
Yeah, I thought when he came into office, he was just an old duffer. I now think he's the biggest danger to world peace that we've seen. Just look at the Taliban being back in charge of Afghanistan. Just look at pushing Putin ever deeper into a corner. Very dangerous, When you're dealing with a man like Putin, you must always allow them a way out, because that's how you get some kind of a peace deal. And I tweeted last week, and I mean it, it really is time in America. They had a debate about calling the 25th Amendment. The 25th Amendment in America gives provision for the removal of a president if the president is not of sound mind. And it's perfectly clear. And it's a horrible thing to say, and many of us have seen it in families and in friends' families. Senility, dementia is a horrible thing, but we can't get away from the fact that the US president is showing every sign of it. It's time to move the 25th, but no one will. And the reason is the Republicans won't call for the 25th because they want him in office this November so that they can storm back in the House of Representatives and the Senate. And equally, what on earth do the Democrats do? Well, because they've got a vice president even more unpopular. And so the only other person that could perhaps be their candidate next time round is, you wait for it, Hillary Clinton. So we really are in a very strange place. Both parties in America know this man has senility, and no one at the moment actually wants to call it.
Yeah, this is the thing. The options at the top of the ticket at the moment for the Democrats is a fool and a fraud. Good luck with that in the next little while.